Good evening to all and welcome to the session. Today we are going to start the session with one of the exam topics. What is the exam topic? Error location. I have brought 5 questions. A few questions are based on yesterday's editorial and a few questions are based on the other editorial in the newspaper. Try to work on these 5 questions. After that we'll go to today's editorial. Read the first one and try to spot the error. The rise of the Sinn Féin's Michel O'Neill as the first nationalist First Minister of Northern Ireland is an indication of how the region's political landscape is changing. Am I audible? Please answer. Anusha is the first one to respond. A question like this, see what happens when you prepare for a competitive exam, English point of view, you have to have certain things at your fingertips. When you learn grammar, obviously you come across parts of speech. When it comes to parts of speech, we have the most important part of speech, a verb. And when it comes to verbs, we have a particular dimension called confusing verbs. There are so many, but in this context, I would like to write two. First one is rise. What is the past form of rise? Arose. What is the past participle? Arisen. What is the other one? Erase, erased, erased. How to remember these two? You have to use your grammar knowledge. Arise, rose, risen is an intransitive verb and also irregular verb. Then if you ask me, sir, what is an intransitive verb? One that cannot take an object. What is an irregular verb? One that does not take D or ED. Coming to the second one, erase, erased, erased, it is a transitive verb and also a regular verb. Why is it a transitive verb? It can take an object. Raise your hands, raise the standards. There's an object. And it is a regular verb because it takes a letter D. Any question like this, imagine you have the basics at your fingertips, especially important parts of speech, the rules. You don't have to go beyond the first part. You don't have to read the remaining part of the sentence. The moment you read the first part, you have to know there's an error. The raise of someone, here there is a preposition of. Generally, if you take the regular verb, transitive form, you have to have the object. Raise the standards, raise your hands. But here it does not talk about raise, it talks about rise. Rise means what? To go up in position. Very good, Nagendrama. The sun rises in the east. What are the typical combinations? Rise means to go up in position. It goes with prices. It goes with the sun. The sun rises in the east. A sentence like this, you have to read. You don't have to read the complete sentence. First part, you have to know for sure. There's an error. Then what happens? With immense confidence, you can go to the next one. So, what is this question about? It is about confusing verbs. In this context, you have to recollect. If you are a smart learner, you have to recollect other confusing verbs. What are the other confusing verbs? Hang, then fell, felled, felled. Hang, it can be a regular form, hanged, hanged. It can also be irregular form, hung, hung. What is the difference? Hanged goes with persons, hung goes with things. And we have one verb, fall, fell, fallen. I'm sure you all know. But what is important here? Fell, felled, felled. That is important. It means to cut something, especially trees. Then you have other verbs. So many are there. But if I teach all those, we'll be going off the track. I'll write the verb. Then you think of the forms. Bear. We also have here. If you take lie, lie, lay, lay. These are very important. Along with these, we have this rise, raise. Go to question number 2. I read carefully. After decades of the troubles, followed by political reconciliation, patching up, the nationalists are on the ascendant while the unionists are at the back foot. Ah, very good. I appreciate. Find, found, founded, founded, bear, bore, born. Born can be B-O-R-N, B-O-R-N-E. Lie, lay, lane, and lay, laid, laid. Wonderful. I appreciate that. But please look at the second sentence. Tell me where is the error. After decades of their troubles, after decades of troubles, after decades, after many years, that's a phrase, of the troubles, that is also a phrase. Nothing wrong after decades, after a decade, of the troubles, of the problems, no problem whatsoever. Followed by political reconciliation. Nothing wrong with this also. The nationalists are on the ascendant. Usually, what happens, I tell students, when you read the newspaper, you get exposed to the language and you get exposed to idioms, phrasal verbs, prepositional combinations, and the most important, prepositional phrases. And usually in the exam, they ask questions based on phrase replacement. There's one important topic, and prepositional phrases. No, there's an error. Answer is not the fifth one. The nationalists are on the ascendant. This is a clue for you. On the ascendant, that is a prepositional phrase. And another phrase like parallel expression, while contrasting word in this context, the unionists are at the back foot. No, you have to say on the back foot. On the ascendant, on the back foot. Look at that. On the ascendant. What is a preposition here? On. The same pattern on the back foot. We don't say at the back foot, on the back foot. And what is this about? It is about prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrases, thousands are there. Then comes a question, so how do we know which one is important and what is the source, how to remember? You don't have to worry. All that you have to do, whatever you come across while reading the editorial, same you get in the exam. As simple as that. Now let us go to question number 3. I have brought a few questions from yesterday's editorial. A familiar context, you should be able to spot the error. The Bharat Ratna, the highest civilian honor of the country, has been conferred on 50 people since 1954. Exactly. Who is this? Nagendrama says parallel expression. That's what I've said. Very good. Please try to look at the third sentence meticulously and try to spot the error. Who is this? Chandu says no error. Let others also respond. The Bharat Ratna. Before the award, we have to use a definite article the highest superlative form, we have to use a definite article the highest civilian honor of the country, a phrase, nothing wrong, has been conferred. Someone has conferred the highest civilian honor, active voice, and someone has been conferred. It is in passive voice. Has been conferred on. Confer on someone. What is the correct preposition over here? On. On how many people? 50 people. Then, whenever you come across since again, you should have at your fingertips. Since and for, these two go with present perfect and present perfect continuous tenses. Since refers to specific time. S first letter, they form a pair. For is used for time period. For time period. Here, specific time 1954 since. That means what? Nothing wrong. Answer is no error. Who has answered? Sairam says a fifth option, and also Ramesh says a fifth option. Suresh also. Good, very good. Answer is No error whatsoever. Please respect the fifth option. Go to the next one. Thakur was a central figure in the social justice politics and an euphemism for the demand for better representation of intermediate castes of Bihar and the larger Hindi belt. Vijay Bharati, please mention the question number. When you respond, I request you guys mention the question number, then I can tell right or wrong. Good. Thakur was a central figure, no more because he has passed away. Past, he was, not is. Thakur was a central figure, an important figure, nothing wrong. In the social justice politics, again a prepositional phrase, in the field of politics, in the arena of politics, in the realm of politics, in the social justice politics, nothing wrong. And euphemism. You got this yesterday. Today I'm going to do it after 5 questions. Haripriya, have you joined a little late? I started the session saying that we'll start with exam topics, error location, 5 questions. After that, we'll go to today's editorial. All of you listen to me carefully. This is like a warm up activity. After 5 questions, I'm going to touch today's editorial. It is not an euphemism, a euphemism. What is the reason? It begins with a consonantal sound. Though there is a vowel letter, it begins with a consonantal sound, U, ya sound. We have to say a euphemism, not an. You got this yesterday. The last question, then we'll go to the editorial. There are social justice groups that are still opposed to it, but BJP owes its current strength considerably to intermediate castes. Tell me, where is the error? Super, sir, for what? Ramesh Naidu. Starting with error location. But I have to tell you guys, today's session is all about one of the editorials, but I'll be doing it after a few minutes. There are social justice groups, there are many students, there are many candidates, nothing wrong. Try to get the pattern. There are social justice groups, same pattern. There are many students that are still opposed to it, that are still opposed to it. Plural, plural, still opposed to it. But here you have to recollect this is important. But first you answer, then I will tell. But BJP owes sentence, the clause is in present, subject is third person singular, it is in affirmative form. We have to add S or ES to the verb. Nothing wrong. It has to be owes. It's a possessive pronoun, does not take the apostrophe. Its current strength, nothing wrong so far. But if you look at the word BJP, I told very clearly, categorically, before a political party, we have to use a definite article, the. So there is an error in the third part. What is wrong with the third part? The BJP, not BJP, but BJP wrong. The BJP. If you remember, I told very clearly before the name of a party, any party for that matter, we have to use a definite article the BJP, the Congress, the Aam Aadmi Party. Do remember, under pressure, not easy. Third part, there is an error, considerably to intermediate caste. Has anyone got all the 5 correct? Please respond. Now, today's session, let us go to today's editorial. We'll start with the question, what is this editorial about? Exactly. The reason for that, see, every day, if you read the Hindu editorial, there are editorial page. There are 2 short editorials, 1, 2, and the main editorial. Bank, banks and SSC, you don't have to touch the main editorial, but the short editorials, one of the 2 editorials you have to touch. Yesterday I did one editorial and the context is familiar. Based on that, I bring the questions. You should be able to answer, and that consolidates your knowledge. The second editorial, I bring a few questions, unfamiliar context. If you can answer, wonderful. 3, 4, good enough. This editorial is about the alleged manipulation. Allege. Answer my question, which part of speech is it? Allege is a verb. What is a noun form? Allegation. You should also recollect, I'm going to give the meanings, but this is like, what is it about? When we go to the actual editorial, I'll give the meanings. This is a noun form. Alleged manipulation, taking advantage of the situation, changing something or someone, manipulate. Alleged manipulation and irregularities in the mayoral election in Chandigarh, India. This editorial is all about mayoral elections in Chandigarh. And something went wrong. Because something went wrong, you see the editorial. Then you have to ask what could be the broad framework? What happened, where it happened, what went wrong, how it went wrong, why did the court have to interfere, and what is the solution? This is a broad framework. This editorial is about the alleged manipulation and irregularities in the mayoral election in Chandigarh, India. Because something went wrong, yes, because something went wrong, the tone of the editorial is going to be critical and concerned. The tone of the editorial is critical and concerned. Critical, criticizing what happened, and concerned because it is not good for democracy. It expresses a strong disapproval of the alleged manipulation and irregularities in the mayoral election in Chandigarh, describing it as a mockery of democracy. What happened? Not good. It is nothing but mockery of democracy. I'll give the meaning. Now we'll go to the editorial. How does it start? Travesty in Chandigarh. A new word we have got for the first time. You got to spend some time to remember. Travesty, part of speech, noun. A false, absurd, or distorted representation of something. In this context, absurd or distorted representation of mayoral elections. An important word, travesty in Chandigarh, on mayoral election, and the Supreme Court of India's remarks. Based on that, the Supreme Court has given the remarks about the remarks as well. But what is the main idea of the editorial? Manner in which mayor poll was manipulated has grave implications for democracy. Manner means what? Method. The way in which mayor poll was manipulated. Past tense, passive voice or active voice? Passive voice. Has what? Grave implications. These two words haven't brought the meanings because we have got many a time. Grave has two different meanings. Graveyard, the last place you want to visit. And in this context, it has nothing to do with a graveyard. Here, grave means what? Very serious. A grave situation, a grave problem, very serious problem, a very serious situation. Implications, imply. This you get from imply. Implied means what? Not stated directly, but you can conclude based on the text, based on whatever is there. And manipulate means what? It's a verb. To control something or someone to your advantage, often unfairly or dishonestly. I'm reading out because I'm blocking part of the text. We have space constraint. You have to bear with it. To control something or someone to your advantage, often unfairly or dishonestly. Manipulate the situation, manipulate a person. Two typical combinations. Now it is about the Supreme Court remarks. The Supreme Court, the highest, the Supreme Court of India's stinging remarks. There's one word here, stinging. Sting is a noun form. It can also be a verb. But in this context, stinging adjective. Usually it goes with insects. But in this context, it goes with criticism. When it goes with criticism, stinging remarks means very harsh or cruel. Not exactly cruel. You can use a word harsh criticism. Stinging remarks, harsh criticism. The Supreme Court of India's stinging remarks on the manner in which the mayor of Chandigarh was elected has confirmed suspicion that the victory of Manoj Sonkar, the Bharatiya Janata Party candidate, was obtained through manipulation. A lengthy sentence, but what does it mean? It refers to the Supreme Court remarks and says the remarks are stinging remarks about what? On the manner in which the mayor of Chandigarh was elected. Active voice or passive voice was elected. Which tense is that? Past tense, passive voice. Has confirmed here, present perfect tense, active voice. Sometimes students ask me, sir, can we use different tenses in a particular sentence? My answer, why not? Based on the idea, you have to use that tense. It is not a rule that you have to use the same tense in the same sentence. One clause in past, one clause in present. The third clause could be in future, does not matter. Has confirmed suspicion. Confirmed what? Suspicion that the victory of Manoj Sonkar, the BJP candidate, was obtained through manipulation. How? Through manipulation. Oh, really? Same sentence. How come? Who is this? Ramesh says, no, not possible. This is from today's editorial. How can you get in some exam? Already over. I doubt that. Anyhow, let us not go off the track. This sentence is about Supreme Court's remarks about the manner in which the mayor was elected, and based on the method or manner, it has confirmed, the remarks have confirmed suspicion about the victory of the BJP candidate. After viewing footage of the videographed electoral process, the Chief Justice of India found it appalling that the presiding officer himself appeared to be defacing the ballots and termed it a mockery of democracy. In this editorial, many sentences are lengthy sentences, and you got to be careful. You have to read twice or thrice. First, we'll see the words and meanings. Appalling, we have got many a time. Means what? Part of speech adjective. Shocking and very bad. What is the second word here? Defacing. Deface is a verb. Spoil the surface or appearance of something, for example, by drawing or writing on it. And generally, it goes with you have to recollect two or three words. One is deface. You should also recollect the word vandal, a person. The act is called vandalism. What is the meaning of the word vandalism? Vandalism means spoiling the public property. And you should also recollect a word like graffiti. Some people write something on the monuments that is known as graffiti. And vandalism, damaging public property, deface. In a way, all related words. Good. I see some students doing value addition. I appreciate. I'm not able to read, but I do appreciate. Found it appalling. The Chief Justice of India viewed the footage of the videographed electoral process. After viewing the footage of the videographed electoral process, the Chief Justice of India found it appalling, shocking, and very bad that the presiding officer, any election you take, the presiding officer's job is to make sure election goes smoothly and it is conducted in a transparent manner. It does not result in problems like rigging. But unfortunately, in this context, the presiding officer himself, the word himself is a pronoun. Which type of pronoun is it? Either reflexive or an emphatic pronoun. And there are three rules you have to recollect. Presiding officer himself appeared to be defacing the ballots. That is not at all acceptable. And termed it mockery of democracy. Mockery means what? Absurd mispresentation, you can say, or representation or imitation of something. I would rather use a word ridicule, ridicule something, not imitating, not absurd misrepresentation. I would rather prefer a ridicule. Mockery of democracy means what? Ridiculing democracy. That is the exact word you can think of. Because he's supposed to conduct the elections in a fair manner. He himself resorts to something that is not acceptable. Obviously, it is nothing but mockery of democracy. Good. Many had noted, as soon as the election was called in favor of the BJP, that it was a travesty that took place on January 30th, as 8 votes cast by elected councillors were declared invalid. Again, we have past, active voice, passive voice, but here many had noted. Answer my question, which tense is this? Past perfect. Rarely we come across past perfect, but whenever you come across, you have to recollect the use of past perfect. What is the use when there are two actions that happen in the past, one after the other? For the first action, we use past perfect. For the second action, we use past tense. Here, first action on January 30th. Many had noted as soon as the election was called in favor of the BJP, that noted what? That it was a travesty that took place on January 30th, as 8 votes cast by elected councillors were declared invalid. There are two words here, but one is very important. I'll tell you why. Valid, invalid. Valid means what? Legally acceptable. A valid document. Opposite, invalid. But there's one important word here, cast. Tell me, why is it important? In English, broadly, we have two types of verbs. What are they? They are regular, regular verbs. What is the other one? Irregular verbs. I think I told yesterday also. What is a regular verb? A regular verb is one that takes D or ED, and irregular verb is one that does not take. For example, if you take walk, walked, walked, is it regular or irregular? Please respond. If you take go, went, gone, regular or irregular? First one is regular because it has taken ED. Second one is irregular because it has not taken ed. And if you take verbs like cut, put, they have the same forms. We all know that. But exam point of view, you have to remember five. First one is cast. I will write here cast, telecast, broadcast, cost, hurt. All the five are very important from the exam point of view. Especially telecast and broadcast, they go with common errors. A lot of people say the program was telecasted on BBC yesterday. Not correct. The program was telecast. People also say, I will answer that, Pandu, just a minute. People also say the program was broadcasted last week. Wrong. The program was broadcast. Same forms. Coming to your question, Pandu, regular verb same as transitive, not at all. A regular verb is different, and irregular verb one pair. A regular, irregular one pair. And what is the other pair? Transitive, intransitive. Transitive verb, intransitive verb, one pair. They are not one and the same. If you want to know what is the difference, a regular verb is one that takes D or ED to form the past and past participle forms. Irregular verb is one that does not take. Coming to transitive and intransitive, transitive verb is one that takes an object. Intransitive verb is one that cannot take an object. For example, go. Go is an irregular verb. At the same time, it is an intransitive verb. What is this? Which one is that? Oh, let me continue with this. I will get back to you. I hope you got it, Pandu. Many had noted as soon as the election was called in favor of the BJP, noted something what? That it was a travesty that took place on January 30th, as 8 votes cast by elected councillors were declared invalid. The election held on January 30th itself was based on a direction from the Punjab and Haryana High Court. This talks about the election that was conducted on that was held on 30th. It was based on past tense, passive voice, you can say, on a direction from the Punjab and Haryana High Court. Again, I told many a time when it comes to reflexive pronouns or uh, emphatic pronouns, you have to recollect three rules. I cannot give all the three rules, but my regular students they know the three rules you have to recollect. That is being smart. Earlier, it was due to be held on January 18th. Actual date was what? January 18th. But it was deferred to February 6th at the last minute. Why? As it was disclosed that Anil Marsi, I suppose, a nominated councillor and a BJP minority wing functionary fell ill. Actual date January 18th, but it was deferred, means what? Postponed, to delay something until a later time or to postpone. But here you have to recollect another word. Which one is that? Defer. Yes, that is right. Ramakrishna, I appreciate that. Defer. What is the difference when it comes to pronunciation? Defer. You have to stress the first syllable. Defer. And here you have to stress the second syllable. Defer. That is the difference. Otherwise, spelling is also different, obviously. Postpone to February 6th at the last minute, as it was disclosed that disclose we have got so many times. Disclose means what? Make known. It goes with information. It goes with what? Secrets, information. Anusha has written the synonyms. Adi Lakshmi has written the synonyms. I have got something to say. Our regular students, those who come onto this platform, a few students, about 10 students are there. And in the initially one or two, I would mention the names, take out the names, but now so many are there, more than half a dozen. Not possible to say the names all the time. My only request, don't get disappointed. I know the regular students like Anusha, Adilakshmi, Anu, Tripur Sundari, Nagendrama, and Ramesh, Naidu, all these, they have been doing value addition. I really appreciate. Don't get disappointed. Keep doing it. You will be able to remember. It helps you in the long run. Naidu Paidi has written a few words. Keep doing that. And others, have a look at the comment box and you can learn a lot in one session, a lot of words. Disclosed that Anil Masi, a nominated councillor and a BJP minority wing functionary, Haripriya also, sometimes she does value addition. Functionary noun, a person who has to perform official functions or duties. Simply you can remember an official. However, a contrasting word. Thanks to the court's intervention, it was advanced to January 30th. January 18th, it was postponed to Feb 6th. Because of the intervention of the court, it was advanced to January 30th. Then something went wrong. What exactly went wrong? This part is the most important part. The Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party allege. No, you have to go to, if you want to see the comments after the session, please click on the channel icon. Click on the channel. And then you can see the live chat. Directly you cannot see. Please, I will explain this at the back end of the session. The Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party up alleged that the election was put off. Put off means what? Delay or postpone. We have got so many times. Only because two parties which were contesting jointly or together were set to win. Why? When you read the next one, you understand. AAP has 13 members and the Congress, see, Congress 7 in the corporation. 13 plus 7, how many? 20. BJP has 16. And these two are contesting together. Obviously, they were set to win. Were set to win. To substantiate that statement, AAP has 13 members and the Congress 7 in the corporation. But the UP candidate Kuldeep Kumar polled only 12 votes, could not get 20, got only 12. Why? With 8 votes being declared invalid. 8 votes declared invalid. Generally, when the presiding officer says these votes are invalid, it is the responsibility of the presiding officer to show the contesting candidates what went wrong, why they have been declared invalid. But in this case, that was not done. Mr. Sonkar, with 16 votes, was declared the winner. The mayor is chosen by the 35 elected councillors and the member of parliament for Chandigarh, total 36. A simple, how do they select or how do they elect? A simple method for a comparatively small elected body choosing its mayor is by a show of hands. They show the hands, or the members rising in support of the respective candidates, rising, standing up in support of the respective candidates. There's a third method that they had to record their preferences through voting slips, indicates that there was suspicion of possible cross voting. Because of possibility of cross voting, they resorted to the third method. They had to record their preferences through voting slips, the third one. Then something went wrong. What made the process dubious? Dubious, we have got many a time. Part of speech, adjective, what does it mean? Doubtful. And there's one standard expression, dubious distinction. What made the process dubious was that Mr. Marcy, who presided over the election, was accused of not showing the invalid ballot papers to the candidates. He was supposed to show, but he was accused of not showing. Then something is suspicious and something becomes dubious. As a result, no one knew why exactly these votes, presumably those that ought to have gone to the up candidate, were declared invalid. The presiding officer did not show, and based on that, no one knew why exactly they were declared invalid. And all these words, presumably, it comes from the word presume, means what? Presumably means probably. Those ought to have gone, an important pattern, but ought to has become outdated, ought to have gone to the up candidate, and they were declared invalid. And the reason was not given. Based on that, the apex court, the Supreme Court, has done the right thing in ordering the ballots and the records be handed over to the High Court's Registrar General and the proposed corporation meeting postponed until further orders. They cannot have the meeting until further orders. The development may concern only one municipal corporation in the country. All this is about what? The Municipal Corporation of Chandigarh. Here the editorial says the development may be related to only one municipal corporation in the country, but the idea that an election can be so brazenly rigged has grave implications for democracy. The main idea is being reiterated. Perhaps it is restricted to one place, Chandigarh, but the idea that an election can be so brazenly rigged, brazen means what? In a bold and shameless way, rigging, to arrange dishonestly for the result of something. Elections rigging means what? In your name, someone goes and casts a vote. That is nothing but rigging. False vote, you can say. But the idea that an election can be so openly, shamelessly, brazenly rigged has grave implications, serious implications for democracy. A political party, how does it end? A political party seeking to be re-elected for a third consecutive term at the national level. Which party are we talking about? BJP. Here I would like to tell something categorically. Listen very carefully. Some students think when I talk about the editorial, do the analysis, they think master is criticizing the center, master is criticizing the BJP. Please remember, I am not, this analysis is not subjective. This is purely objective. Means what? Based on facts. What the editorial says, I'm trying to tell you guys, not my personal opinion. Do remember, don't think I'm talking about my personal opinion. No, this is the opinion of the editorial. And I'm trying to tell you, I'm doing the analysis completely objective based on the editorial. Nothing personal, do remember. A political party seeking to be re elected for a third consecutive term at the national level cannot be seen as manipulating any election in this manner. It is not acceptable. It is not advisable. Only a verdict means what? Final decision, judgment. Only a verdict invalidating the election and ordering a fresh one with safeguards against manipulation will be in the interest of justice. Now, what is the solution? They have to reorder. They have to order for a fresh election. At the same time, they have to focus on the safeguards against manipulation. That will be in the interest of justice. Only then it can be justified. You have listened to me live session. Now try to answer these questions. And if you get all the five, it means you're a good listener and you're good at reading comprehension skill. Look at the first question and try to answer. What is the central concern raised in the editorial? Subjective based on assumptions or personal, objective based on facts. Yes, Tirupati Rao. Perfect. Central concern alleged manipulation in a mayoral election. Hold that one. The effectiveness of the Supreme Court, the role of the Chief Justice in local elections, the delay in the election process. No, it's all about alleged manipulation, two important words, in a mayoral election. Good. Try to get all the five correct. Why did the Supreme Court find the election process appalling? Why did the Supreme Court find the election process shocking and very bad? Based on the keyword, the Supreme Court find the election process appalling. Yes, you can answer based on the keywords. Lack of voter turnout? No. Defacing of ballots by the presiding officer? Obviously. Delay in announcing election results? Invalid votes cast by elected councillors. So, what is the answer here? Defacing of ballots by the presiding officer himself, which is not at all acceptable. It is a matter of concern, and it is nothing but mockery of democracy. Why was the election postponed from January 18th to February 6th? Later it was advanced to January 30th, but basically, why was it postponed from Jan 18 to Feb 6th? Turnout means to appear, to show up. Good, Anusha. A lot of people, then we use turn out. An individual, we say turn up. He did not turn up yesterday. A lot of people, the turnout was very good for the fashion show. Subtle difference in the usage. Lack of interest from the voters? No. Inclement weather conditions? No, nothing to do with the weather. Illness of a nominated councillor and BJP minority wing functionary. The editorial does not provide this information. So, what is the answer? C is the answer. How many votes were declared invalid in the election, leading to concerns about manipulation? Explicit information based on the number, easy to answer. Out of 20 expected, how many were declared invalid? That has led to concern or concerns. It is not 5, it is not 10, it is not 12. They were to get 20, but they got only 12. 8 were declared invalid, and the reason was not given. They were not shown also. What action does the editorial suggest as a just resolution? Just means a fair, perfect solution to the alleged manipulation in the mayoral election. Exactly, 8 out of 20 invalid. Acknowledgement of the election results? No. Fresh election with safeguards against manipulation. Fresh elections, beyond any doubt, but at the same time, a word of caution with safeguards against manipulation. Very important. Answer is B. Reprimanding the Chief Justice, ignoring the concerns raised by the opposition. What is the meaning of the word reprimand? I'm sure you guys will answer. Now let us go to the last slide. Vocabulary consolidation. These words you got yesterday, you should be able to answer effortlessly. Same words or different? Have a look at the words. Yes, Manasa, 5B, already over. Fresh election with safeguards against manipulation. Reprimand, rebuke, reprimand, castigate, scold, condemn, criticize. Anusha says, very good. Tirupati Rao, reprimand, abuse, scold, castigate, chide. Yes, wonderful. After that, Naidu, Paidi also, then Nagendrama also. Good, good, very good. Keep it up. What is the meaning of the word honor? All the five correct, Ramesh. Good. You're good at comprehension skill and you're a good listener. Great respect shown to someone or given to you by someone. Then what do you say? It is an honor. Part of speech, noun. Once you answer, I will tick that one. Great respect, yes. Confer, an important word, bestow. Yes. Bestow, confer, present, also you can think. Part of speech, verb. Great respect. How? That is the first one. Please mention the question, word number. Only then I can respond. Second one is over. Stimulant. Stimulant, part of speech, noun. What is the verb form? Stimulate. I would like to tell one more thing. When you respond for these, try to recollect the synonyms, word forms, word usage, word combinations based on the editorial context. That will help in the long run. It acts as a stimulant used in the editorial. Confer the award, confer the honor used in the editorial. Try to remember the context, the combinations that will help in the long run. Pedestal, part of speech, noun. Base, foundation, yes. Anusha, for what? Spur, inspire, for stimulate, yes. You can use those words. Fourth one, fourth one is what? Base, foundation, yes. Reinforce, we have got so many times. Part of speech, verb. What does it mean? Reinforce. Strengthen, yes. The right word is strengthen. But morning one student added fortify. That is also an important word. Strengthen or fortify. Make something very strong. Mentor, he is my mentor. Means what? Noun. Mentor, a person who guides you, who gives suggestions. You can also think of words like guide, coach. Yes. Now I see. Tirupati Rao says fortify. That is the word you have to recollect. Anu also says the same thing. Good. Assertion. Assertion is a noun form. Assert is a verb form. What is the adjective form? All the youngsters at the workplace should be assertive. Assertive is the adjective form. Euphemism, an important word. Say something harsh in a nice way. Something is harsh and you say that in a nice way, that is nothing but euphemism. For example, mental hospital sounds very harsh. Asylum sounds better. Mental hospital, harsh. Asylum, euphemism. He has been kept in the mental hospital. No, doesn't sound good. He has been kept in the asylum sounds better. Scatter, part of speech, verb. But here, I would like to give two words I should have given yesterday. Some people, they say something today, something else tomorrow, they keep changing. What is the word for that person? Fickle minded person. This is British English. Americans don't use a fickle minded, they say scatterbrain. British English, we also say he is a fickle minded person. Americans say for the same thing, he is a scatterbrain. Scatterbrain. Scatter means what? To go in different directions. Ah, whimsical. Whimsical for what? Align. Align, part of speech verb. Alignment is a noun form. Chicken hearted. Chicken hearted means something like a weak person. Subtle difference is there. But good, you have mentioned that. Whimsical weather. Okay. Please mention the question word number. O, part of speech verb. Word number 11. Be under obligation. Yes, Chandu. Accord, Manasa says, for which one? Align. Align more like to be in arrangement, proper arrangement, alignment, to have an understanding with someone or something. Oh, money means what? You have to pay someone something. Alliance, we have got many a time, part of speech noun. It goes with countries, organizations, and also in this context, parties. Political alliance, it goes with politics. Before I wind up the session, I would like to ask a question. Do respond. Today, I have started with exam topics. Usually, what I do, I start with the editorial. I start with the editorial. But today, I have started with exam topics. Which one do you prefer? First exam topics, then editorial, or editorial, then exam topics? You can respond. Go to the comment box and respond. That's all for today. Thanks for being with me till the fag end of the session. Do remember to subscribe and share. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much. I'll bring more exercises. And in fact, I was to bring a para jumble. I'll bring tomorrow. Main mocks. Who is this Haripriya? I have a very tight schedule. Very tight schedule. In spite of that, I'm squeezing in time to conduct these sessions. I will definitely try at least a few papers, mini mocks, I'll try to get. A lot of students say, some say editorial, some say exam topics. My pleasure. PSPK. Ashish Sharma, you, the, that particular group, and here also you have been asking. I didn't want to answer, but today I will answer. You have touched the financial aspect. That is the reason why I had to block you. I had to remove you. You cannot do like that. You cannot touch the financial aspect. I myself, I have never done it. That's a platform for exchange of ideas. You can request for a PDF related to the Hindu. In the past, some students in the group, they wanted the Hindu PDF. They requested. Someone else gave the PDF. I did not say anything. I did not object. Nothing wrong in that. Sharing knowledge, sharing the PDF. But you said something like, I'm ready to pay. How can you say that? You are starting something that is not advisable. You initiated something that is not advisable. Today you say, tomorrow someone else says, give me master's notes, I'm ready to pay. That is not at all acceptable. That's the reason why I had to remove you. Any platform, my WhatsApp group or Telegram group or this channel, we have very good students. This channel, you never come across this platform. I've been doing for so many years and have 25,000 subscribers. Never negative comments, never foul language. All the students who come onto this platform, very decent and dignified. Very rarely, perhaps once or twice, that also I doubt. But Other platforms also, same thing. They never comment, they never write, they never touch the commercial aspect. Anything you should ask the master. Why do you ask others? That was a mistake on your part. Anyhow, good night to all of you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much.